checking it every now and then to make sure the batteries haven't run out. So if you see me doing that, don't worry about it. Right, Darren, your first year at Cheltenham, and your only year at Cheltenham now. And when you look back on it, what do you think will be your feelings about it overall?
I think for the majority, I really enjoyed my time, and for me, coming back into to football after a year out with injury and being sort of on the outside, not being part of a club and being part of a team and a squad, it was great to get back into it, to be given the opportunity to play again and prove myself. That was the one thing that I wanted. It was, for me, this year was all about playing football, getting out on the pitch and playing. And obviously I got the opportunity to do that, and just as the season went on, there was a few testing times for me personally, but up until the last 6 weeks of the season, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's just obviously a shame that it finished the way it did for me personally, and for the way it did for the club as well.
Yeah, when you think back to when you first came to Cheltenham, how did it actually come about? Because you had you had a whole season out, hadn't you? So yep. How did your actual move to Cheltenham? Because it was seen as a bit of a coup for Cheltenham to be signing you at the time.
Yeah, basically last year when I had the injury, I was training at Birmingham, and I'd been to Brighton and Nottingham Forest. Actually, I'd done the injury of playing in a reserve game for Nottingham Forest, and from that point on, then Birmingham took care of me. Basically, the physios there and the manager at the time, had said to me, come in, do all your rehab, do everything you need there. And then I ended up finishing the season training there and getting myself ready to go into the off-season, basically to just maintain my fitness and then keep myself going and get ready for pre-season. And then ended up coming back to Birmingham for pre-season, done a full pre-season with them, played in some pre-season games, and obviously against Cheltenham at Wadham Road. So, and then it got to a stage then where I really needed to play. And say the Birmingham squad was sort of shaping up that there wouldn't really be any room for me, and I had a phone call from the gaffer, Mark Yates, and said that there was an opportunity for me to come and play at Cheltenham, and that he was building a squad to go for promotion, and would like me to come down. And yeah, it sort of happened in sort of a couple of days, that I felt that it was great for me to just come and play football. That's all I wanted to do, and I came down, and and that was that really. So the gaffer said that there'd be opportunity for me here, and I wanted to take that.
Yeah, I think you were on the bench. You came on against Accrington, didn't you? But then first start looking away. Yeah. How good was it just to be playing again after so long out?
It was fantastic. It really was, and to be honest, it was probably the hottest day of the year. So I couldn't have picked a hotter day to make my first start. But no, it was great, and we played well that day. I think that was one of our better footballing performances in the season. We seemed to be in sync, and how we never won that game is beyond me as well. And it was a freaky show and goal to start the game, and from that point on we controlled things. And I remember coming off the pitch and thinking it was great to be back. The feeling to be in a dressing room as well and part of a group was great. That was a real high point for me in terms of being back after a year and playing in a game and getting 90 minutes as well.
Yeah. What was it like playing League Two for the first time? Because you played in the top two divisions throughout your career before that. What was it like coming into League Two football?
I think at first it was sort of. I thought it's good. There's a bit of football played, and the standard was very good. And like I said, I'd always been told that there's some very good teams and very good players at League Two level, and it was only sort of as the games rolled on and we got sort of nearer to Christmas time, the weather started to get a little bit worse. Obviously the pitches got worse, that it really did become a little bit of a grind, and you do realise that it is a lot more physical, and as I say, you have to battle it out in a lot more games than you probably have to at League One, Championship level. So but I enjoyed it, I enjoyed that, I embraced it, and basically took the challenge on. And like I say, you look at the clubs this year and players in the League Two, there's some very good players with some huge experience and some big clubs. So I thoroughly enjoyed it and knew what to expect. But like I say, it was a grind at times, but enjoyed the most of it.
Yeah. Physically, what was it like? Did you have any sort of problems with the injury, or was that completely fine? Was it just your body getting used to playing again?
No, it was just really my body getting used to playing, and my injury. I felt strong, and it was basic. I felt myself getting stronger and stronger game by game, especially the first half of the season. And then it was just unfortunate that New Year's Day at Oxford I got that freakish injury where I rolled my ankle quite badly that then really did hamper me for the next two and a half months, from January sort of to maybe to the end of March. So that was disappointing. It was hugely frustrating, but I had to try and play through it because I didn't want to miss any more football. So yeah, it was that was testing for me, and I would have liked to have obviously gone into the new year on the role that I was and feeling as strong as I was. But like I say, the ankle injury sort of set me back a little bit.
Yeah, you got actually hit by the ball in the face, didn't you? Went down all.
Yeah, the fullback Damien Batt. I think he was actually trying to play the ball down the line, so I didn't expect the ball to sort of hit me. I don't know if he's mishit it, but he just caught me flush on the bottom of my jaw and basically knocked me out for a couple of seconds. And in that couple of seconds, I just rolled, went fully, my body weight went all on my ankle. I remember when I'd done it, it felt quite painful, and I had a sort of an X-ray and scan on it the next day, and it was just very badly bruised, and I tore a few sort of ligaments and everything. So it was one of them that I knew that obviously we had Everton coming up 8 days later in the FA Cup, and we had some big games coming up as well in January. So it was just sort of try and get myself as right as I could do for them games. And I think the Everton game I got through on adrenaline more than anything for an hour, and then the York game the following week at home. It was probably in my career I don't think I've ever played in as much discomfort as I did that day, and that's how it was for me then really for the next 2 months. I sort of, my ankle was feeling okay some days, other days it wasn't. Some games I felt okay, others it was a bit of a hassle for me, and it limited sort of my effectiveness for me and how I wanted to go about games. As I say, it was frustrating, but I didn't want to miss any more football, so I had to try and play on and force my way through it.
Yeah, I think you got 6 goals at Cheltenham. When you look back, any particular games stand out for you that you enjoyed, or what would you say the highlights of the season at Cheltenham?
I enjoyed obviously the Morecambe game at home early doors when I scored the 2, and it was on the Friday night. That was sort of, I felt like I played a few games then, a couple of starts, and to get a couple of goals as well was a great feeling. And I enjoyed the Northampton game away. That was a sort of one that sticks out in the memory because we went 2-0 down pretty early on. And sort of when we went 2-0 down, from that point in time we really kicked into gear, and that was probably one of the best away performances of the season. And we managed to get a goal in that game, so that one sticks out for me. So yeah, there was a couple of, I think the away performances this year weren't consistent enough, but I thought Gillingham away was a good performance when we went there on the Tuesday night and got a result. And then Wickham at home as well, when we beat them 4-0 around Christmas time. That was a good performance from us. And so yeah, there's a couple that stand out throughout the season, but for me probably Northampton away was a real highlight.
Yeah, you used it in a few different roles, holding midfield, or sitting back a bit, attacking, and also on the left of 5 at one point as well, weren't you? So what do you think about the way you were used and how the manager tried to get the best out of you?
Again, I've always been someone who's open-minded, and I'll play anywhere if needs be. It is nice. Obviously, you want to get into a sort of a routine and you want to play in a certain position. And for me, it's a central role, pushing forward, getting goals. But yeah, as I say, the gaffer utilised us, a few of us in different positions over the season, and I like to be versatile in that sense. So yeah, I'll always play where I can for the team. Some games it worked for us, others it didn't. So, but yeah, I'm always open-minded to playing in different positions anyway.
Yeah, 20 clean sheets, and a lot of people were saying that should have been enough for you to get promotion. So I know it's not an easy one to answer simply, but why do you think Cheltenham didn't quite get promotion this season?
I think just some inconsistencies from us over the season, especially away from home. Our home form obviously was fantastic, but away from home there was games where I say we did turn up, but we just didn't get to the pace of it, or we didn't start quick enough, and we left it too late in games to try and do something about it. And so our away form was definitely the key for us this year. But again, you look at some of the results and you think a point here and a point there, and it would have been enough for us to get automatic. So there was a fine line there, definitely. But yeah, our away form, our inconsistencies away from home were big for us, and ultimately I think was the reason that we didn't get automatic.
Yeah, what do you think about Marlon Pack? Because he almost left in January, came back strongly. Now he's probably going to get the move he deserves. So how far do you think he can go? What was it like playing with him in the midfield?
Marlon was a joy to play with all season. Technically he's fantastic, and for his age as well, he's got an experienced head on his shoulders, and he had a great season last year, I know, and it's always difficult as well when there was a little bit of pressure on him this year. People knew about him. He got in Team of the Year last year, and the way he went about it. First half of the season, I think he said himself that he struggled a little bit, but again, I didn't think he struggled that much. And then with everything that went on in January with the Swindon thing and everything, I think that for him to come back and do what he did, is testament to his character as well, because a lot of lads would have affected them and maybe knocked them off the game, but Marlon got his head down and basically worked through it. So for me, he'll go far, because he's got the attitude, he's got the right temperament, and he's got the quality as well. So hopefully I'll see him in the Premier League one day. I really do hope he gets there, because he deserves a shot.
Yeah. So you've spoken a bit about the mixed time at Cheltenham. So the last few weeks of the season probably frustrating. You were involved in the playoffs. How disappointing was that? And just desperate to get on there.
Hugely. It's hard to take. Purely and simply, if I'm being honest. And I told the manager the same. When I'd gone through sort of the discomfort and worked extremely hard to get my ankle right from New Year's Day. The last sort of 6 to 8 weeks of the season, I felt great and I was ready to go. I felt like I'd toiled away and strengthened my ankle, got myself right again, and I was ready to make an impact. And when you toil all season and then the big games roll around, firstly obviously to try and get automatic towards the end of the season, and then the 2 playoff games, to not play, it's hard to take. For me, I love playing, and when you feel like you've worked hard enough and you deserve a chance and you're not given that, like I say, it's tough, and when you're not really given a reason as to why, it's even harder to take. So it's soured it for me, unfortunately, but it's one of them. It's happened, and I'll try to look back, as I say, on my time at Cheltenham before the last 6 weeks of the season and say that I really enjoyed it, but I can't lie, the last 6 weeks of the season were a real grind for me, and like I say, I was given no answers as to why.
Yeah, so obviously you can only pick 11 and it's not going to be everyone happy, but so he never really explained why you weren't getting a game?
No, I had numerous chats with the manager, and as I say, when the big games rolled round, I felt that I was ready to make a huge impact in them. I felt that in my career I played in a few big games, and that my experience would help in some way, definitely, but when you're not used at all or utilised, it baffles you, and it was frustrating hugely. So unfortunately, like I say, it's soured it for me, but it is what it is, and you have to get on with it. And like I say, there was no answers given to me.
Yeah. Were you expecting anything for next season? How did you feel going into the when you went to hear from the manager?
It was tough. Like, my mindset was one that was a little bit angry and a little bit frustrated finishing the season. When the big games were here and I didn't play. Like I say, it's hard to take, and I've been open and honest with the manager and told him that. And, it was sort of like, in terms of next season, there's not really been any indication that I'm wanted there next year. So as far as it stands at the moment, there'll be no talks, there'll be nothing set for next year. So obviously I'll move on.
Yeah. So what's happened over the last couple of days?
Just a brief chat with the gaffer, and as I say, basically there was no indication about a contract for next year, and basically that there may be a phone call in the next week, couple of weeks maybe, but obviously given my situation that I'm out of contract next week, for me it's obviously about getting myself sorted and obviously getting a contract in place somewhere. So obviously I can't be waiting around to a point. So at the moment, as I say, it's a little bit like next week my contract will run out, and then for me it's looking for the next chapter.
Yeah, the manager's almost playing it sound like he can't afford to keep you. I think that's not really the case.
Not the case at all. As I say, there's nothing been discussed. There's nothing been said about contracts. So, like I say, when I came to the club at the start of the season, it was purely to play football, and that's what it's been all year. I was never concerned about contracts, and that even when I knew that my contract was up in January, I was happy to stay. I just wanted to play. That's all my mindset has been. Obviously, when you have a year out of football, I just wanted to get back playing, and that's all I did. And I came in on a very, very basic contract, and that's how it was. I wasn't concerned with that. I just wanted to play. So for next year, like I say, it's the same again. I want to play. I want to play football, but at the same time, have a contract in place. So as it stands at the moment, like I say, there's nothing there.
Yeah. What do you think the future holds then now? Because you did have clubs interested in you in January, and I'm sure you have now. So what is it? Just a case of your agent seeing what comes up? Yeah,
basically I think that's the same for a lot of players at the moment. There's a lot of players out of contract, and it's just about obviously talking to people and just seeing sort of what's out there and what situation would suit you best, basically, and then hoping that there'll be opportunities there for you to take. Like I say, that's all you hope for, is an opportunity somewhere, and then obviously that everything's in place, everything's right for you. It's the right club, and you feel that you'll progress and enjoy it there. So, I'm probably like the majority of players out of contract at the moment, just waiting and seeing and keeping your phone on, ready for a phone call.
Have you heard any specific clubs that are keen at the moment?
I'm due to sit down with my agent next week, so I'll have a chat with him and just see sort of what he's been doing and what's out there. So it's sort of been, as I say, since the end of the season sort of finished abruptly. It's just sort of been taking a breath and just sort of relaxing and reviewing the season, if you like, and just seeing where I'm at. So now the next couple of weeks will be probably vital in deciding what's going to happen over the summer.
Yeah, you said, I spoke to you a few weeks ago, you said you want to climb back up to the top if you can, just at what time to do it. And does it really bother you what standards you're playing at next season, or just want to be playing it week in, week out, even if it's sort of League 1, League 2 standard?
I think for me, it's sort of playing is the main thing. Obviously, I want to be playing week in, week out, and enjoying it first and foremost. But as a player, obviously, you want to aspire to get back to the highest level you can. And for me, like I say, it's just being in the right situation where I think I can progress and improve and enjoy it, basically. That for me next year is all about enjoying the football and hopefully being somewhere where we're going to be pushing for promotion or looking to be successful. So that's all you ask for. But again, it's being able to get that opportunity.
Yeah, do you almost feel like you've got to prove to people that you are still the same player that you were before you had that nasty injury? Is that what this season maybe and next season might be about?
Yeah, definitely. I think people obviously will look at my situation and see that I had that year out, and then this year being at Cheltenham and having a season there, people will probably still be looking for me now to be even stronger next year. And in myself, I feel that I am stronger going into next year. And as I say, me as a person as well, I'll do everything I can to try and get back to the level I know I can. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to just obviously motivate yourself and be determined that to show people your best and show people that you've still got that ability.
Yeah, there's some good times during the season. Have you got a message for the Cheltenham fans?
The fans have been fantastic to me from day one. I can't talk highly enough of the comments I receive when I'm at games or at the training ground or on Twitter. They really have been fantastic, and they deserve success now. I think they can say that the club has really progressed over the last 5 years, definitely, without a doubt, and hopefully, like I say, them above anyone. Say a few people the people that work at the club, in the offices and that, there's some very good people who care about the club a lot. They deserve success as well as the fans. So I really do hope that promotion comes, because as I say, the fans have been great this year, and to have 2 seasons now of heartbreak, hopefully it's their time again.
Yeah, I think you'll stay in touch with quite a lot of the lads from Cheltenham.
Yeah, I've made some very good friends this year. It's been a great bunch of lads. That's another thing that's been great for me this year, and I said it early on, that was to come back into the game and be part of the squad and be part of a group of lads that I have been. There's been some real characters in there, as I say, but there's some experienced heads as well. So we've had a good blend. And as I say, there's a lot of the lads in there that I'll keep in touch with and speak to now for the rest of my career.
Yeah. Cheers, Dan.
Cheers. No worries.